getting chilly here in the mornings in the mountains, and there is something so nourishing about starting the day with food from the land around me. And so my recent breakfasts have consisted of freshly baked sourdough bread along with some grass-fed butter and some raw honey from my bees, along with some eggs because our chickens have been laying so many. So I usually have about 2 or 3 cooked in my cast iron with some sea salt and pepper. And depending on what is abundant in the garden, I will also have a fresh fruit or veggie to add some color and extra medicine to my plate. On this day, it was tomatoes, as our community garden has been filled to the brim with heirlooms. I also love to sip on something warm in the morning, so I made myself an adaptogenic cacao with some rose powder to support my menstrual cycle on this particular day. The rose is an astringent herb, which means it helps to tonify our tissues and open our hearts alongside the mineral-rich cacao to boost my brain and body for a very intentional day ahead. I also ate one of these gem multivitamins that I've been loving and who are kindly sponsoring today's video. As a nutritionist, I truly do see food as medicine. However, with the current state of our soil's health, it is more important than ever that we are all making a conscious effort to get in all the vitamins and minerals our bodies need. Around 90% of us Americans are nutrient deficient because most of our modern diet lacks essential vitamins and minerals due to over-farming. What I love most about Gem is that they are formulated from real food that our body recognizes to allow for optimal absorption of these vitamins and minerals. Other vitamins are typically isolated in pills, powders, and gummies and can be full of synthetic ingredients which lack the powerful phytonutrients and antioxidants you can only get from food. Thankfully, Gem is made with over 20 whole food vitamins, minerals, and superfoods along with prebiotics and probiotics to support whole body wellness. Gem contains one of my favorite herbs, turmeric, which has a powerful phytochemical called curcumin known to support healthy inflammation responses in the body and promote skin health. Ever since including Gem multivitamins into my routine, I have experienced an increase in my overall energy and mood due to the B vitamins and vitamin D. I also love that I can rest assured knowing that I am filling in any nutrient gaps within my diet by including Gem into my daily routine in just one easy and delicious bite. Right now, Gem is offering 50% off your first month. Go to dailygem.com/EMMA Emma and use my code Emma, EMMA, all caps, at checkout. Good morning, everybody. I am outside enjoying my breakfast that I just made. I am having a slow morning and really just tending to my body because it is the first day of my period, and so I'm going to be nourishing myself, taking things slow. When you start your period, your cortisol is naturally higher, and so I'm just giving my body lots of minerals and lots of adaptogens to just really support my flow. The vitamin that I just took had turmeric in it, which really helps fight inflammation, and our periods are a naturally inflammatory process. And so I love just including real whole food vitamins and minerals into my diet to just really support my body. That's also why I am eating some pasture-raised eggs from our chickens, which you can probably hear the roosters cock-a-doodle doing, but the B vitamins are really supportive of our bleed because when we start menstruating, that's when our hormones begin to build again for the following cycle. We are beginning anew again, our hormones are beginning anew again, and so just filling our bodies with lots of good things is really important. And your body also needs a lot of carbs because it's a very energy demanding process to shed the inside of your uterus. And so I also have some freshly baked sourdough bread from the farmer's market and lots of local honey from our bees, which is really supportive as well because there's lots of digestive enzymes in them, which really support a healthy digestive process. And I know a lot of people can have like upset stomachs on their period, so that can be really helpful, just a little helpful tip to include in. I also have some healthy fats from the egg yolks, which is really important because they are filled with vitamin D, which is a precursor for hormone development, and I love to get enough vitamin D, especially on cloudy fall days like this. It's really supportive of my body. And so I also have some healthy fats from this organic grass-fed butter, which is really supportive as well because there's lots of vitamin A, which is really great for our skin health. I also have some tomatoes from the garden, which are full of lycopene and lots of different antioxidants as well. And I always love to include some color on my plate. So I got some heirloom tomatoes and I'm just sitting outside. It's a little cloudy because we live on the river, but it is gonna burn off so it's not too cold. Yeah, it's just cloudy, so I'm gonna probably take a little bath in a little bit and support my body and take you guys along with me on how I support my body during my menstrual phase. I've really been loving having slower mornings tending to my body. I find that especially on my moon, my body craves rest and slowness, and I see it as the greatest act of self-love to listen to my body's calls. So on this morning, I lit a few candles and used the flame to offer a prayer of release and burned some incense to support the process of beginning again. I love using the flame to set a clear intention for the month ahead as my body begins again, and I love to blow out the flame and use the smoke as a means and a medium to clear out any density from the month before. I find calling on the elements as a means of supporting both my internal and external world to always be a medium for me to channel my highest self, and so I poured some Epsom salt into the bath water to nourish my body with calming magnesium, and I find this helps calm my mind and body and find ease as I'm shedding this past cycle. I also grabbed my journal and spent some time reflecting on all of the stories that have accumulated over the past month and which ones I'm still feeling called to play a role within. I then thought about all of the stories that I'm ready to release in order to create space to welcome in new, and I truly do love this aspect of being a cyclical woman, the monthly opportunity to shed and release, and then in turn plant new seeds and intentions. I find that sometimes change can be hard when it is abrupt, yet this constant change happening inside of me is always a welcome unfurling and release. I especially love the stillness that comes on my period when my hormones are at their lowest point. I feel like I can hear my truest self thinking or not thinking beyond all of the noise that can come with hormonal fluctuations of estrogen and progesterone during ovulation and follicular and luteal phase. After bathing and massaging my womb with some herbal magnesium salve, I went outside because the sun finally peeked its head out of the morning mist. I think this is my favorite part of fall, the constant juxtaposition between the dark and the light. I placed my feet into the earth to acclimate my body to her healing and grounding gifts as my skin soaked in the sun rays, and I dropped into some deep stretches. This is by far my favorite way to move my body on my moon cycle. I always crave movement, yet I lack the desire to push my body, and so I listen and reflect and say thank you for all that she has carried me through this past month by slowing down and stretching her out. I'm outside and I just took a bath and I relaxed my body with some nice magnesium-rich bath water from the Epsom salt. And that is by far one of my favorite things to do. It just makes my body feel so at ease, and it really does help absorb a lot of magnesium to ease cramping, which this period is feeling very heavy. I am in the process of moving and transitioning, and I actually moved this Thursday, which is pretty crazy. I'm still going to be at home half the time, but half the time I'm going to be away at school at the coast, and so I'm feeling like I'm starting a new chapter, and that feels really special because I'm also starting a new chapter cyclically, and so it's really beautiful when your cycle aligns to your life and you can really use it as a medium to release and to shed and to begin again. And yeah, I'm just feeling really in touch with myself, which is special and amazing in its own ways. And yeah, your relationship to your cycle is your own, and I just wanted to remind you that you can always use it as a means to create and to birth, and cyclical, sexual, sensual energy, reproductive energy does not have to be limited to a sexual encounter or having intercourse. It can be used to create cyclical creative babies every single month, whether that's in your personal life, your artistic life, creative life, or your work life, or your relationships. All of those are avenues for you to be creative and to be sensual and to invite in pleasure, a pleasure practice as much as you can. And that was me just now, stretching, inviting in pleasure, and seeing pleasure as the path forward. Our lives don't have to be this hard thing all of the time. It doesn't have to constantly feel like we are meeting a wall and trying to slam through it. It can feel like we are approaching our growing edges and really tending to them, trimming off the excess leaves, kind of like a garden, and hoping for new growth to take its place. And that can only come with watering and tending and nourishing, and we have this cyclical built-in process of slowing down and tuning in with ourselves. That's my relationship to my cycle. in a little piece because they don't share it all. And that's just the nature of being human. We are so multifaceted, there's so much to us. So yes, I'm just going to sit in the sunshine and move my body slowly because stretching and walking and nourishing movements is what feels good for me during my menstrual phase, to just invite in a little bit of ease and a little bit of space to shed and to become new again. And my hair looks really crazy, but I'm kind of loving it. It's in a clip, but I have a lot of hair, so I have to like wrap it really funny, but I'm feeling like it looks kind of good right now.
I like this hair.
For the remainder of the day, I retreated into the forest, as I always do, to wander on a trail I have been feeling called to and spend some time with my love. We spent the day walking, swimming, eating fruit, and just witnessing. There were so many grand oaks on this trail that I sat beneath and listened to all they had to offer. I find that as humans, we get so caught up in the busyness and the dramas of the day-to-day forms of communication that we forget that there is so much to learn from and be communicated to beyond what words can say. Plants have always been my greatest teachers, and sitting with the ancient wisdom of the oak is one of my favorite forms of medicine and reminding. It always feels especially special because my last name means oak tree, and so the synchronicities of life can truly be sweet like that sometimes. If this video serves to inspire any of you to go and spend some time in stillness, lying witness to the grandness that lies both within you and within the natural world around you, then my heart is very content. I feel so blessed to be a cyclical being within this cyclical world, and I feel especially grateful to be doing it alongside so many other beautiful beings. Thank you for being here, and thank you for spending a slow morning in the mountains with me. Until next time, take care, take some deep belly breaths, and we'll talk soon.